Welcome, Rafa, and glad to have you here. Let's discuss the role of creativity in today's advertising with so many technical innovations and everything. I feel like we would soon be replaced by robots, not only here discussing but also at work. So, what do you think is the role of creativity?
First of all, thanks for having me here, and sorry about my voice.
Yeah,
I swear it's not a robot voice. It's
that's a bug. That's a bug.
So it's so interesting that you said that, because especially this year with the changes in the festival, and especially on my jury, the Glass Lion, the Grand Prix went to that idea of the idea. It's all about like empowering women, in like showing, challenging the concept of like periods and the way they are portrayed in communication. And our Grand Prix was a campaign that used traditional media. It was like films, print, posters, like digital. And if you look back last year, the Fearless Girl, which for me is one of the most innovative ideas of the festival, they used that 4,000-year-old technique, right? I feel that there's a trend about like putting the idea first again. Like the festival, the last few years, they were focused too much in technology, right? And I think there's this trend. And I think the role of creativity is everything. I think creativity is the only thing that can really drive clients' businesses, you know. And you have like different technologies, like one of the tools that we have in our toolbox to play. It cannot be the thing. Yeah. Right? Yeah. It has to be the means to reach our goal, not to be the goal.
Yeah. It's still about emotions and not about the technology.
Exactly. I was reading this interview with John Haggerty, and he said that we are in the business of inspiring people.
Right.
Right? We have to, I don't know, I think Bill Baerbock said that. We are in the business that 1 + 1 = 3.
Yeah.
So we cannot be, data is important, information is important to validate or to give us, to help us to get great insights, but cannot be the thing, you know. Right? I think we're still in the business of inspiring people and making people feel something. You know?
Fine. So how come you have such big ears?
The main asset you have is yourself, right? So we are in the business that we don't have, although technology is important, data is important, we are in the business of people, right? So each one of us, we have different dots, our experiences, the things that we've done before, the movies that we watched, the countries that we visit, the travels, like the relationships we had, you know, and only us, we have this ability to connect those dots.
Yeah.
So like one person cannot have the same idea as the other, you know, because we are so different individuals, you know. And I think it's to value that human aspect. Of course, you have to, if you want to be an art director, you have to improve your craft. If you are a writer, there's ways of doing that. But I think it's all about putting the human at first. And another thing, talking about technology, one thing that kind of like pissed me off is that technology kind of hijacked the word innovation.
Right.
Right? So like, when we talk about innovation, we immediately connect with technology, something where I think some of the most interesting ideas, like innovative ideas, they have no technology, right? So like, I don't know, a few years ago, like this idea coming from India, there was this town area in India that the woman, they have deficiency in some sort of, I don't remember if it was iodine. So how do you call it in English?
Iodine,
right? So, but culturally, they don't take pills. So, like, doesn't matter how much aid they send to them, they just don't take it. It's a cultural thing. You know? But like, this I think it was UNICEF observing like the culture. They use the bindi.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So what they did, they have this epiphany, right? Let's embed the bindi with iodine.
Yeah.
And and they start using it, and they reduce drastically the lack of iodine. So for me, this is a damn innovative idea, and didn't require a single code.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I think that's the thing. Like keep the human side of things, and tackle innovation like in a more holistic way. You know, not just like through the lenses of technology.
Yeah. Do you think there's been too little focus on creativity?
I do.
Yeah.
I think it's coming back. I think if you see the big ideas, I don't know, the idea, the boost your voice I've done last year, you know. There's zero technology, it's pure like human insight and empathy, right? And I think there's a trend of ideas like that coming back. If you see to mention one of the main films of the year, The Talk from Procter & Gamble, is a pure like human insight. You know, like it's not about technology. It's about like.
We actually have a pretty new, about half-year-old, less than a year-old agency, and you've already attracted some big global clients, and I know you're talking to some more. So, what's the secret? What are they interested in?
I think so. We have this motto and ethos within TBD. So, who wants it more? You really want it, and because we are so engaged with our clients, we just won the AOR, Global AOR for Evernote, and the client, she gave a quote to our release, which is very enlightening. So she said, what attracted me the most about TBD is it's not just the strategy or the creative, because it is table stakes. It's the
entry fee.
Exactly. It's all about her access to the principles. So like I'm 100% involved in her business. Jordan, my business is 100% involved in their business. So like they feel that they don't have that on bigger agencies. So I have myself, like I'm from Brazil, I worked 5 years in the Middle East. So like we can combine all these things, and it's very exciting. Like every time we go to a client and present our credentials, they're like, oh my God.
That by the way is interesting. How much do you think you've gained from the fact that you come from Brazil, you worked in the Middle East, now you're in US and you work globally and work with people from other countries?
Okay. So like I think diversity is imperative, right? And bringing this different perspective not just enhances the final product of what we do, but like the concept of empathy, like you've been in other cultures, you have less prejudice, you are more open-minded. So 10 years ago, I worked at Ogilvy Dubai, right? And we were 200 people, like 33 nationalities. Half of the creative department was composed by women. And 10 years ago, like digital was just starting, and we had like female creative director from India, digital creative director from India. So I like to say that an agency in the Middle East 10 years ago was more diverse than any agency that ever worked in the US.
Yeah,
right.
That's funny.
But it's true, like it's all. That's what we are trying to build up with TBD, like bring this diversity, not just the sense of like fill a quota or to have a pretty PR release, because I really do believe that it makes the work better. Especially us that we are working with those global clients, like they need that.
Right.
Instead of like going to like a big network and have like different offices around the world, let's bring the world to one agency.
By the way, you didn't really answer my question about how what the young people should be studying. You gave us some philosophical mumbo.
So you mean
jumbo. Tell me if
they're going to be studying. One thing I have to say now, it may sound a little polemic. I don't believe those portfolio schools, like the ones I'm talking about. I don't want to mention their names because I don't want to trash anybody. Because they teach them how to build a portfolio, like to create a case study or you know what I mean? I think if you go like to writing, like you study journalism or like whatever language that you do. If you are, I consider myself I'm an art director and I'm designer by trade. I have a bachelor degree in graphic design. So like, if you want to be on that field, go study that thing, right? Or if you want to be like more digital, so there's ways places you can study your craft.
Yeah.
But I don't think there's any place you can study how to be creative. I think you're either born with that or not. Yeah. So I don't know if I still gave like a mumbo jumbo answer. So what would you, since you are much older than I am, what would you advise me?
Well, I don't know, like I believe in lifelong learning. I believe that people should study every day and every week and
reading.
Not only the craft of writing or art directing, they should of course understand the technology, study the client's business, study different business areas, Like
Completely.
you can't throw yourself on the mercy of everybody else and say, I don't know, I'm just art director.
No, no, that's not what I meant. Because you asked about the people who are starting the business, right?
Yeah.
Of course.
Oh, starting in.
Okay. So like, of course, have to be a long life learning. Like,
Yeah.
always reading, always like getting what's the latest, what's the new technology, because one idea these days, what's different from before? Like you have a big idea. There's so many ways this idea can be brought to the world.
Yeah.
It can be a piece of machine learning, or can be a radio spot, or can be like a piece of outdoor, or can be using your creativity to improve like a product from within, right?
Yeah.
So of course you have to always keep updating yourself.
Okay.
If you do that, you become obsolete.
Okay.
And you're done.
Absolutely. And then, like, tell me, how can the you worked in 3 countries. I don't even know if Dubai has a creative club, but probably US has, and probably Brazil has.
Yes.
So
Brazil is very interesting because Brazil has a very strong advertising culture. No?
okay.
In
Yeah.
Brazil, advertising is part of pop culture. You know,
Yeah.
like the big ad guys there, they're celebrities. They hang out with celebrities.
Yeah.
What was interesting about the Middle East, it was nascent. It's
Yeah.
just like starting. Like the last, and they have the Dubai Links
Yeah.
there. It's a show. That I saw the first version like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
You know, and I can see. I went to judge that last year. I can see an evolution there as well. The US, we have like the big ones. You know. Brazil, we have this Creative Club of São Paulo, which is the most prestigious, you know, and it's quite tough. Whatever wins there, wins everywhere in the world. You know, like Germany has the ADC
Yeah.
Art Directors Club as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
So they do. I can see. So what was your question? If they need more?
No, what's the role of them? But which is more important, the creative award shows or the educational
Yeah.
programs, or
That's a completely different thing. The Dubai Links, it was just purely an award show, which I think they should do more about it. In Brazil, they start doing this education as well.
Yeah.
Like it's along the year. They keep like bringing people to talks, seminars throughout the year. And I think the NAD is doing a good job with that as well. You know?
Yeah.
And I like the idea of the NAD not being a for-profit. So
Yeah.
like everything
Yeah.
they do, it goes back to
Absolutely.
to the industry.
Yeah.
I really like that. No, definitely. I think they should do that more. It's not about just to celebrate the awards. It's not about how can you nurture the industry. You know? I think yes. So how's the ADC club in Europe?
Well, ADC is still young, and we're trying to develop it, but we do organize educational programs, and we try and go to local countries. You know, Europe is not like the US. So we try to go to individual countries and organize something we call the Creative Express, and so on and so on, to engage the people, and especially the young people.
Yeah.
Keep them interested in the marketing communication business, and inspire and educate.
Of course.
But then they have the local clubs, and the local clubs are partly responsible of the action in the local countries.
So one thing I saw that watching like this, some beats of the David Droga lecture, and he keeps saying things like we are in an industry that we are the only industry that keeps writing its own obituary, right? Seems like everything is a doomsday, like we are dying, we are not relevant. I think we just should stop doing that. I think there's another trend, which is like if you see one of the most interesting ideas of last year, the Tide ad. It's a Tide ad. They are a known apologetic selling a freaking detergent. Right? They are not just trying to save the world or be too altruistic, you know, like they're fucking selling a product, you know, and I think we shouldn't be as apologetic as an industry. We should be ashamed of what we do. I think we should go like full on. It's like we are so lucky that we have the opportunity to make a living, like daydreaming. That's what I tell my creatives, you know. Even like by doing a boring like brochure, you get the chance to choose the font or the color, or you know what I mean. You can put a little bit of yourself in it. So stop being a little bitch. And start like being proud of what we do.
By the way,
that's another advice for the young people.
Yes, good. Thank you. Thanks, Rafa.
This is bullying. It's not that I have big ears, I have a small face.
Okay.